Dear students, good day to you. Continuing with our lectures on various topics around stock exchanges, today we are going to take up derivatives. So we have discussed derivatives in more detail while covering commodity markets. This is also a very important aspect of trading in stock exchanges, especially BSE and NSE. So in India, derivative instruments are available for stocks, currency, bonds, and also commodities. So the National Stock Exchange, the Bombay Stock Exchange, and MCX or Multi Commodity Exchange, they are the main exchanges which facilitate derivatives trading. So while MCX purely deals with commodities, we have already seen that NSE and BSE deal exclusively in stocks. So please to refer to the earlier video on derivatives. But quickly to recap, what are derivatives? So derivatives are securities that are traded and they derive their value from an underlying asset. For example, if there is a contract between A and B where A agrees to buy a certain quantity of wheat from B on a future date, this contract document can be traded in an exchange and it will exchange hands between various investors. So while this is being sold or bought between investors, whatever profit is being made, it is being made not because wheat is getting sold each time. It is because this instrument is fetching them that margin from the underlying asset, which is wheat. So that is why this is called a derivative, because value is derived from an underlying asset. Okay. So types of derivative, we spoke about forward and futures in detail. In fact, we have also given the difference between forward and future. So what are they? They basically means a contract which is entered today with clarity on pricing, quantity, quality, etc., which is to be affected in some future date. So in case of forward market, what happens? Trading is not regulated. It doesn't happen within an exchange. But futures are more regulated and it happens within the purview of an exchange. Okay. We also spoke about options. And we said options are little more flexible than forward and future. So we also said option is a type of futures where a person can enter into a contract to buy or sell in future, but he is not under any obligation to abide by it. In the sense, on or before the expiry date of the options contract, he can say that he doesn't want to execute it. Okay, so it basically gives the buyer or seller the right but not the obligation to buy or sell an underlying asset as per the details of the contract. Okay, so in our example, if A and B have entered into an options contract, when A said he will buy certain quantity of wheat at rupees 100 before the expiry date, if he feels the price of wheat is going down in the market, he will not exercise his option. He will say, why I should buy at 100 rupees? So I will directly buy at the current market prices, maybe which is much lower, 85 rupees or something. Okay, so it gives him the right but not an obligation. Okay, now again within options we have different types of option. We also briefly touched upon these two. One is the call option, one is the put option. So in the call option, the investor is the buyer. In the put option, the investor is the seller. So within the contract, we said A and B, we spoke about A and B. So A is the buyer in our example. So he has entered into a call option, and B is the seller. So we say he has entered into a put option. Okay. So as per the contract terms, when a person is buying, he has entered into a call option. When the person is selling, he has entered into a put option. Okay. Now having said that, this is like from the point of view of contract terms and conditions, call and put. Okay. But we said the document itself can be traded. That is where investors are making money, right? The document itself is exchanging hands where people make money. So when this document is being sold, the seller is said to have taken a short position in options trading. Okay. So when the document is being sold, or the seller is supposed to have taken a short position. So S for short, S for selling. And when an investor buys this document, he is said to have taken a long position. So buying is equivalent to taking a long position. Okay. Now we have various combinations like long call. So long means the investor is buying. So let's say, suppose A buys a contract. That means he has taken a long position. In the contract, within the contract terms, he is to purchase certain quantity of wheat at a future date. So he is a purchaser or he is the buyer. So he has entered into a call option here. So he is buying a call option. So this is called long call. Okay. So when he buys the contract, it is long position, and within the contract, he is the purchaser, so it is a call option. So it is called long call option. Similarly, there is this long put option. So again, long means, in our example, A is again buying the contract. And within the contract, put means he is a seller. He is supposed to sell at a future date as per the terms and conditions given in the contract, the price, the quantity, the quality, etc. given in the contract. So in the future, he has to sell as per this contract. Okay. Then we also have something called the short call. We said short is what? Selling. S for short, S for selling. So I am the seller of this contract document. So I have taken a short position. Okay. Within that contract, I was originally the buyer. So whosoever this document is getting transferred to, he also becomes a buyer. So I am selling this off to somebody else. So because it is the buyer, it means it is a call option. So this is called short call. So I am selling and my position within the contract is that of a buyer. So it becomes a short call. Then we have short put. So again, short means what? In our example, A is selling. Short means selling. Blindly you say selling. So A is selling the contract, and within the contract, let us assume that A has to, within the contract, let's assume that the person has to sell a certain quantity and quality of wheat at a certain price level in the future. So when he is a seller, we say it is a put option. Okay. So I am selling this contract, and within the contract, the role that I have is that of a seller. So it becomes a short put option. Okay. Now quickly, let us understand. In case of a long call option, what typically happens? Because I am long means I am buying, no? Call is I am a buyer. So why will I purchase such a contract? It is because in future I will be buying at the currently decided price. So on the contract document, if the current price is 100 rupees, in the future I will be able to buy it at 100 rupees, and I feel that will be beneficial because I am anticipating price to increase. I am anticipating price to go beyond 100 rupees. So I have a bullish outlook towards the price of the item. Done. Now let's come to the next thing, that is long put. So again, long means I am buying and I am becoming a seller by buying this. So why will I do this? So I am a seller here. So what it means is, at the currently fixed price in the contract, again let's assume it's rupees 100, I am willing to sell in the future because I feel the prices are going to go down in the future. So I am willing to sell at the currently decided price. So maybe the price goes down to 80 rupees, 85 rupees per quintal, and by using this contract, exercising my option, I am going to sell it at a much higher price, at rupees 100. Okay, and the buyer has to buy from me. There's an obligation. Okay. So okay. Now moving on. Short call. So short is what is selling, and originally I had entered into a call option, that is buying option, but today I feel I don't want this. I'm selling it off, making somebody else the buyer. Why? Because I feel in future I'm going to get the same items at a much lower rate. I mean, maybe in the contract it is rupees 100 per quintal, but in the future probably, as per my calculations, it's going to be 90 rupees in the market. So I don't want to exercise this contract, so I sell it off to somebody, okay, who will in turn buy. Okay, so but I don't want to buy as per the contract terms. But see, options are generally, you have a choice not to exercise the option, no? Then why will you sell this? Because by selling you are getting some money, so you are going to use that gain in addition. So again, coming back, short call is when you anticipate the prices of item to go down in the future. You feel it's worthless to go as per the current contract terms. You are a buyer and you may buy it at a future lower rate. Last thing is short put. So that means you are selling the contract, but you were originally a seller. Now you are making somebody else the seller by selling this contract. So why will you do that? Because you feel in the future the prices are going to go up. You have agreed to sell wheat at rupees 100 per quintal, but you feel the prices in the market are going to go up looking at the trend. Then why should you get stuck because of the contract terms and conditions? You will rather sell it at 110 and make more profit, no? So you will sell this off. And this is all speculation. This is as per your estimate. That's why you are selling it or buying it and trading this in an exchange. Okay. So these are the different types of options. And when you anticipate future prices to go up, and that kind of view is called a bullish view. When you anticipate future prices of commodities to go down or stock prices to go down, it is called having a bearish view. Okay. Now the last type of derivative, it is called swaps. So this is very simple, and I'm not getting into too much detail about swaps unless we find a specific question when we go through question papers. If something has asked, if there is a question asked in more detail, that time we'll address it. So in swaps, there are two different parties with their own financial instruments, and they try to exchange their instruments or exchange their burden. For example, one person may be paying a fixed monthly interest to bank for a loan taken. Okay, so person A pays a fixed amount of interest on a monthly basis to bank, and there could be some other person who is paying a floating or a fluctuating interest to bank for a loan taken. These two parties come together and they exchange their financial burden. So again, this is all speculation that we are talking about. So the person who is paying a fixed interest, he feels he will gain by adopting a fluctuating interest temporarily for some time. And the other party feels likewise. He feels if I get into paying fixed interest, I will be gaining. So when both of them have similar thoughts, they get into a contract and mutually they will be meeting the obligations of one another. So this is called swap or swapping the obligations. Okay. So this is a temporary arrangement, and the two parties will decide the time frame, till when they will be meeting the obligations and so on, and they will not disturb the person or they will not disturb the lender for all this. Okay, students. In the next lecture, we'll touch upon few things like SEBI and actual functions of stock exchanges and so on. Thank you so much.